How's everybody feeling this morning? Feeling good? The sun feels amazing. Anyone else feeling that awesome full moon energy? Happy Halloween, by the way. I did not bring a Halloween playlist. Sorry, I could not find calming Halloween music. And I felt like the Monster Mash didn't really do it for morning yoga. So you can have your Halloween music tonight, unfortunately. Not this morning. So for this morning's class, last night, if you were at Bonfire Yoga, it was a very calming, very zen class. It felt great. This morning, we're going to take it up just a little bit because it's a little bit chilly out here. So we're going to build a little bit of fire this morning. We're going to build a little bit of energy, but we're still going to get some good stretches. Hopefully that's okay. So think about a little bit of core work coming at ya. Woohoo! Let's work those abs, yeah? What else? I think that's it. I think we can get started. We've got just about an hour-long playlist for this morning. Thank you guys for coming out and not being afraid that it felt a little bit cold when you stepped out, and trusting that the sun was going to keep us warm and the movement is going to keep us warm. No, I do not want to rate Spotify, sorry. So guys, let's go ahead and start by getting comfortable, whether that means legs out in front, legs in a wide straddle, legs crossed. Whatever feels comfortable for you this morning, that's where I want you to begin. And we're going to start to take some nice deep inhales and exhales. Start to feel that warm sun, start to relax. Maybe you've had your morning coffee. Maybe that's already woken you up. If not, then take this time to really ground down through the sand and start to feel alive and feel the fresh air, the vitamins from the sun, and start to be present in our practice. I'm going to start some music here. This morning's music is going to be instrumental music mostly, nice and soothing, nice and calming. And we are going to take a moment to close our eyes and meditate. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get a little bit of movement so we can warm up our bodies. So what we're going to do is, just staying in a comfortably seated position, we're going to inhale and start with some twists. So let's inhale, the arms come all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, take it over to a twist. The left hand coming to the right knee, twisting behind you. So opening up the spine, waking up through the spine. And you want to pull that belly in. So we're going to heat up through the core. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Exhale, twisting to the side. Inhale, arms up. Breathing in through the nose, exhaling back out. Inhale up. Exhale down. Already feeling a little bit of warmth as we twist from side to side. Waking up our muscles and joints, saying good morning to our bodies. Twist to the side. Last one here. From here, we're going to inhale, coming up to center. Bring those hands nice and high. Reach for the sky. We're going to do a little bit of breath of fire to get started this morning. So breath of fire, we're going to bring our hands out. Our thumbs come on top of our hands. And think about a dog panting is the breath that we're going to move for this. So we're not going to actually pant like dogs. I just want you to think of that. So think of, but then you're going to close your mouth and do that same breath. So you're going to breathe through the nose. Don't worry, we've got blankets and towels if anything comes out. We're going to start right here. Keep those thumbs on top of the fist. Take a big inhale. Big exhale, everything out. And then let's go ahead and breathe in. Breath of fire. And exhale, arms come down. So that breath will get a little bit of heat running through your body. Take the hands to the knees. Palms come right onto the knees, resting. Shoulders roll back and down. Chest lifts and opens. And now let's close our eyes and take a few moments to breathe and relax. So yes, we want to warm up the body this morning, but we also want to clear the mind, relax the body, and prepare for our practice. Think about where you want this practice to take you today, where you want your mind to go, and let it go there. While you guys have your eyes closed, I'd like to share something with you if you allow me a few moments. I recently had the question, what exactly does it mean to be soulfish, or what is soulfish? And so I pondered that and thought there's a million different ways that I could explain what it means to me to be soulfish, or what it may mean to somebody else. But if I simplify it, it comes basically down to this. You don't have to love yoga or be a yogi to be soulfish. You don't have to be a woman to be soulfish. You certainly don't have to be perfect to be soulfish. You don't really have to be anything to be soulfish. You just have to be soulfish. Be true. Be open. Be pure. Be honest. Be giving. Be caring. Be nourishing. Be thoughtful. Be kind. And be loving. But if you want to know the secret to true soulfulness, add the words "to yourself" to the end of those last few sentences. Be true to yourself. Be open to yourself. Be pure to yourself. Be honest to yourself. Be giving to yourself. Be caring to yourself. Be nourishing to yourself. Be thoughtful to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be loving to yourself. And that's be soulfish. So I want you to think about those words as we get into today's practice. How can we be more loving to ourselves? How can we be more kind to ourselves? Because when we practice that to ourselves, we automatically bring that to those around us. So let's, as we have our eyes closed, take just a few more breaths here. Let that sink in and carry that through our practice this morning. Not pushing our bodies to do any harm to ourselves, but being kind and nourishing to our bodies, taking ourselves to the level where we feel we need to go. Inhale, eyes open up, arms come up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Taking those thumbs right to your chest. Big exhale. Great job. We're going to go ahead and take it immediately to all fours to get some movement today, okay? So finding yourselves in all fours in the soft sand, we want to make sure that we are having a nice level surface. And by the way, I want to thank you guys for allowing me a few moments to share that, share my words with you, and hopefully it will bring something to you and the rest of your day. Finding ourselves in all fours, we're going to drive the knees into the sand. So what that means basically is wiggling our bodies to get a nice firm plant into the soft sand. Same thing with the hands. I want you to spread your fingers nice and wide, and you're pushing the palms into the sand as well. So that way we've got a nice platform for our knees, our hips, our wrists, and our shoulders. And then we want to imagine having a nice flat back. What we're going to do here is we're going to start with some cat-cow stretches. So we're going to go ahead and inhale. We drop the belly down towards the sand. We lift our gaze up towards the sky. And then we're going to round it back, tuck the chin to the chest, and round through. Exhale. Inhale, take it up. We're going to move a little bit faster than we normally do, just so that we can keep that heat and that warmth going. Tuck the chin down towards the chest. Inhale, take it back. And exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. If you feel rushed, then please, by all means, feel free to take it a little bit slower. Go at your own flow, find your own speed. One more. And I want you to finish on a downward, on an inhale, dropping that belly down. So what we want to do here, I want you to pull the belly in. We're not coming quite to a flat back, and we're going to work through some spirals here. So spiraling is going to work up that inner core heat. So we're just going to round the spine up and down. Imagine that you have a pencil and you're just drawing a circle with your belly around your spine. Don't worry about how this looks and feels. Nobody's looking at you. We're all worried about ourselves. I know it may feel a little bit funny to do these spirals, but it will help. If you pull that core in, you're going to feel those abdominals working, and you're squeezing around those organs, allowing your body a nice little detox here. Drop to the bottom, drop the belly one more time. We're gonna change direction. By the way, one direction usually feels even more awkward than the other. So whichever one, don't worry about it, just let it flow. Squeezing that core, drawing a circle around the spine. Finding a nice little flow, waking up the entire body. Last one here, we drop the belly down to the ground. Bring that gaze up one more time. From here, we're going to tuck the toes. We're gonna soften through the knees and push on up to down dog. Being gentle with our first down dog of the practice, you may wanna keep the knees slightly bent. You're gonna feel the sand shifting underneath you, so allow yourself a moment to plant yourself in where you need to be. You're pushing those heels down, but you can keep the knees bent if you prefer. Push away from the sand with the hands, so the shoulder blades are down and back, and your gaze is through the back of your toes, the back of your knees, wherever you can reach your neck to. And let's take an inhale, take it to high plank. Exhale, push it back, down dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, back. Inhale, plank. Hold here. We're gonna take that right foot, step it all the way forward. Take your time to get there. If you need to, plant your knees down in between. And then once you have that right leg in front, we're gonna drop the back knee. So release the toes, coming into crescent lunge. Checking that front knee to make sure it's not too far past that toes. If you're feeling that it's far past the toes, we want to protect the knee here and the ankle. Just step the foot out a little bit further. And then focus on pushing that back hip down towards the sand. So we want a nice big hip flexor stretch here. Wiggle those toes into the sand, feel that sand beneath you, and then try to think about lengthening through that back hamstring. You guys are watching these waves for me, right? From here, inhale, the arms can come all the way up. If this is too much, keep the fingers down, okay? Roll the shoulders down and back to release any tension. Exhale, bring the hands down. Tuck the back toes on the left foot. We're gonna lift ourselves up and bring that right foot back. Not as easy as it sounds, right? We gotta lift all the way up, squeezing that leg back. Let's take it to a three-legged dog. So lowering the left leg. Take some nice circles with the ankle here, circling the toes round and round and round. And then lower the right foot down towards the ground. Bringing ourselves back to down dog, remembering you can bend the knees here. Push the heels towards the sand, whichever feels good to you. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Getting a little bit of movement here, keeping us nice and toasty. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, back up. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, back up. Inhale, plank. Hold here. This time, work your left foot towards the front. Now you can maybe bring it underneath your body if you want to step it forward. If that's too much, guys, then don't ever hesitate to move the hands as much as you need to. Move the body as much as you need to. Drop the back knee, the right knee comes down. Releasing the toes so the top of the foot is resting in the sand. Dig that front foot into the sand. Wiggle those toes around. Push the right hip down towards the sand. Think about stretching this hip flexor for those of us that sit a lot during the day. This is a very tight muscle. It's a great stretch here. Also maybe feeling a stretch in that right or the left hip that's going forward, the left hamstring, wherever you're feeling it is exactly where you need that stretch to be. You can stay right here with your hands on the sand, or you can inhale, taking the arms all the way up to full crescent lunge. Roll the shoulders down and back. Exhale, the hands come down. We're going to activate the right foot. We're going to work that left foot back towards the right and take it back to down dog, but a three-legged down dog. So the left leg comes all the way up. Position the feet as you need. Wiggle that ankle, circle it around, loosening up all the way down through the toes and the ankle joint. Changing direction, whichever feels good. And then slowly lower that leg all the way down. Taking one more moment here in down dog. Think about pushing those heels down. Stretch through the hamstrings, reaching as long as you can. Working through the shoulders. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down chaturanga, all the way down for cobra. Bending the elbows, keeping them nice and soft, tucked in by your sides. Inhale, push back, child's pose. Hips come all the way back, knees come wide. Take a nice big breath. We're going to inhale, lift the right arm up for this nice little twisted stretch. As you exhale, lift the chest, bring the right arm underneath for thread the needle. So we're twisting from side to side here, stretching all the way through our back muscles. Reaching that left arm maybe a little bit further forward. Relaxing into the stretch. Don't hold your breath here. Inhale, coming back to center. Both hands reach out nice and long. Lower the chest back down. Let's inhale, lift the left arm up and around. And as you exhale, lift the chest. Bring that left arm underneath the right. Thread the needle and then lower back down. Think about stretching all those muscles through the back. Reaching the right fingers long. Inhale back to center. A few more breaths here. Inhale, start to walk the fingers all the way up towards the knees, rolling up through the spine. Very slowly, take your time to get here. Big breath. How we feeling? Everyone good? A little bit warmer now? All right, guys, we're gonna take it down to the sand for a few. So come to a seated position first with the legs out in front. Maybe grab some water or coffee, whatever beverage of choice you have with you. No judgment zone. It may be a Bloody Mary or a mimosa. I don't have that. Maybe when we move to the Holiday Inn. Which will be next Saturday, by the way. I'll talk about that more after class. All right, guys, let's reach those legs out nice and long. Wiggle your sits bones into the sand. So dig yourself a nice little seat here. We can have lots of lumps in the soft sand. From here, we inhale, the arms come all the way up. And then exhale, keeping the back nice and straight, pulling the belly in towards the spine, fold forward. Keeping that flat back, okay? You're gonna notice that as you have a flat back, it's much harder to reach those toes, and that's okay. It's more important to keep the back flat versus rounding to try to reach. When you round, if you want to even practice the feeling so you can see the difference, when you round through, you're crunching your stomach, you're crunching your lungs and your organs. You want to keep that chest open. And the more you practice this with a nice flat back, the deeper you're going to get. So breathe here, and as you exhale, think about sinking maybe 1/4 of an inch deeper into that stretch. One more big breath in. And exhale out. Next inhale, roll it on up. Last to come up is the head and the neck. Let's roll those shoulders down and back a couple times. Taking the right hand to the top of the head, we're going to ease the neck over. So the right fingers to the left side of the head, we pull the head gently to the side for a nice stretch. We want to be very gentle with our necks. There's lots of tension there. lots of vertebrae and muscles that we just want to tug gently for the stretch, not pushing it further than it needs to go. And then slowly bring it back to center, being nice and smooth and slow with our moves. Take the left hand up, reach for the right side, and then pull over. Gently, gently. And back to center. We're going to inhale, the hands come up, and then we're going to exhale, interlace the fingers, and bring the hands to the back of the head. We're not doing crunches yet. We're going to take the hands here and slowly pull the neck down, or pull the head down, so our chin is tucking right towards the chest. What I want you to think about here is focus on a stretch through the back of the neck, coming from the bottom of your skull, the base of your spine, all the way down through the upper back. Again, being very gentle here, pushing only as far as feels good. Still sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, slowly come back to center, releasing the hands and taking the head up towards the gaze, up towards the sky, dropping the neck back, the head back. And inhale back to center. Slowly from here, we're going to lower all the way down. So we're going to lower down to our backs. You may have to adjust those little holes in the sand that we dug. Take your time getting there nice and slow. Feeling that nice, soft sand beneath you. Feel the energy of the ground, the energy of the sand, the warmth of the sun. Let's take a moment here and close our eyes. We are not in Shavasana yet, so don't get too excited. We still have some stretching to do. But let's take a moment to breathe. Recognizing how your body is feeling as we wake it up, as we go through some movement and stretches. We are about to do some nice spinal stretches. So I want you to relax the muscles of the spine. Sometimes when we try to stretch our back, we tense the muscles, which does not allow us to get as deep into the stretch as we could if we were to just relax. So from here, plant the feet on the ground. And we're going to start by taking the left foot or the left ankle to the right knee. And then we want to open up that left knee. So we should feel a stretch, or you might feel a stretch in that left hip. If you would like to take your hand, your left hand to your left knee, you can gently push it a little bit more open. Be very gentle here with the hip. And from here, we're going to keep that foot in this position, and we're going to keep the hands down on the ground. Typically in a regular figure four, we use the hands to pull our leg closer. We're not going to do that right now. We're going to lift the legs as if we're doing that, but use the force of your legs, use your core muscles to bring that right knee up and towards your chest. Feeling a stretch through that left glute, and continue pushing the spine down into the sand. Continue breathing here, don't hold the breath. Slowly lower the right foot back down to the sand. Using that core to control the lift and the lower. So we're pushing our spine into the sand, lift that right knee again, pulling it towards the chest, keeping that left knee open. If you'd like to take the stretch a little bit deeper, take the left hand and reach over for the right knee, and then pull that knee in a little bit more. Releasing the right knee, take that right knee back to 90, drop the left hand back, and then taking your left foot over to the ground in front of you. Big stretch. Let that spine twist. So we're in a twisted supine stretch here. Now we can take the right hand to the left knee and push it a little bit further here, deepening the stretch through the spine. Inhale, coming back to center. Take your time to get here. This time, instead of the ankle being on the knee, we're going to cross knees. Okay, so the left knee is on top of the right, and we're going to grab the ankles if you can. If not, if you can't reach the ankles, then grab on the shins and pull the legs towards your body. Big hip stretch here. Exhale, slowly release the legs. Bring both legs back, feet planted. Inhale the arms overhead, big stretch. Exhale, hands come back down to the side, and we take the right ankle to the left knee. Pushing that right knee open. Using just the force of our knee, just our muscles right now to start. Being gentle, taking our time. And then if you would like to take the stretch a little bit deeper, we're going to now lift that left foot, pulling the left knee towards the chest. Feeling a stretch through the right glute. Using only the force of our legs right now. Continue with your breath. And then exhale, bring that left foot back to the sand. Using that core, slow it down. Keep the spine pushing in towards the sand. Inhale, lift that knee back on up, lift the foot up, pulling it towards your core. From here, if you'd like to take it deeper, reaching the right hand over to grasp the left knee, and then pull it a little bit in more. Feeling a deeper stretch through the right glute and the right hip. Exhale, releasing that foot back down to the ground. We're going to take keeping the foot on the knee here, the ankle on the knee, and we twist, bringing the right foot over to the left, to the ground, bringing both legs over for a nice spinal twist. And now we have the option to take the left hand to the right knee and pull it over a little bit deeper. Now we're feeling that stretch more through the back, through the spine, but still going through the hip and glutes as well. Inhale, come on back to center. This time, instead of the ankle on the knee, we're going to take knee to knee. So now the right knee is on top of the left. Reach for the shins or the ankles, whatever feels good for you, and then pull gently towards the body. Big stretch here through the hips and the glutes, maybe feeling some hamstring. Again, wherever you feel that stretch is exactly where your body needs it. So if you feel something different than me, that's perfectly okay. Big more inhale here. Exhale, release the legs all the way, come down straight, arms overhead, full body stretch. Like you're just waking up. And then as we inhale, we're gonna lift the torso, bring the hands underneath the head. When I said we weren't doing crunches earlier, but we would, I wasn't kidding. We're gonna do a couple of bicycle crunches here. So what we're gonna do is as we lift the torso, we're gonna bring the right elbow to the left knee. We twist through the core, nice, slowly and controlled. We lower back down. Our chest comes center. We switch sides. So in a lot of exercise classes, we do this exact same move, but we do it much faster. Today is slow and controlled is the key. Keep the elbows nice and wide. Bring opposite elbow to knee as we twist. Pulling that belly in towards the spine, continuing to work on that inner core fire, warming through the belly. Once we have that inner fire working, it helps keep our whole body warm. One more each side. Last one here. And release. Taking it all the way up to seated. Ooh, a little bit of core work this morning. I said in the beginning that was coming, right? I did give you a warning. All right, guys, stretch those legs out. Let's wiggle it out a little bit. Find a nice little comfortable seated position underneath you. Inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold, keeping that nice flat back. Noticing maybe you're getting a little bit deeper than you did about 10 minutes ago when we first did this stretch. Maybe not, and that's okay. Our muscles still might be a little bit cold in this wind. And when our muscles are cold, they don't allow us to stretch quite as deeply. They're protecting themselves. Something about dogs playing on the beach, I don't know, it always makes me smile. Like, that dog does not need to be warmed up. He's warm. Slowly start to roll it all the way up. Allowing the neck and head to come up last. Good job. Roll the shoulders down and back. Taking the right foot, planting it right next to the left thigh. We're going to hug that knee. So here you want to think about really pushing the right hip down into the sand. We're grounding through the sand with our sits bones here. And then think about pointing the left toe and lengthening through that left leg. And then we lengthen through the spine to sit up nice and tall. You have one option, is to stay right here. If this feels good for you, continue sitting up tall. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, we're going to take the right hand, wrap it around the right knee, and you can reach for the back of the leg, or you can go for a full bind. Once you go for the bind, if you're taking it there, try to lift on up, opening through the chest. Nice job. And if your body is not feeling the bind, then please stay right where you are. Perfectly okay. As we release the bind, if you're there, you want to take it nice and slowly. So when we release the fingers, slowly unwrap. Coming back to center. If you're hugging your knee, we're back to our knee hug. From here, you're going to take the left hand, reach for the outside of the right foot. And then we're going to straighten that right foot and open up the right arm. If your leg is not straight, don't worry about it. It can be bent right here. Just whatever feels good for you. If your leg's not high, don't worry about that either. It doesn't need to be. Just think about stretching the fingertips away from those toes. And slowly come back to center. Lower that foot all the way down to the ground. Taking the left foot, we plant it next to the right thigh. Hug that knee in. Pushing through the left hip down into the sand, lengthening through that right leg and sitting up nice and tall. Think about the crown of your head reaching for this gorgeous blue sky above. Hugging that knee maybe a little bit tighter. You can stay right here, or you can release the left arm, taking the left arm around the front of the knee, and you can grab for the back of the leg and maybe stay here, or you have the option to take the right hand around and try to clasp the fingers for the bind. Once you're there, lift on up slightly, lift the chest. Continue to breathe here. Let's not hold the breath. As you exhale, soften through those muscles. When you get into a bound position, a lot of times we tense on up like we gotta hold it here, but don't do that. Exhale, release, and it'll allow your muscles to stretch even more, because we're going for that release. Speaking of release, let's release the bind if you're there. Slowly unclasp the fingers, allowing your hands to come back to front nice and slowly. If you're already at the hug, hold it there as we join back. We hug that knee in one last time. And then lifting the left toes, we're going to grab the right hand to the outside of that foot. And we push that left foot forward, left arm comes back. Think about pushing the left fingertips as far away as you can from the right toes. You may even feel it stretch all the way through your hip. Maybe through the hamstring. Maybe through the shoulders. Inhale, coming back to center, slowly lowering that foot back down. Ooh. Roll those shoulders down and back 3 times here. As you inhale, arms come all the way up. We exhale, forward fold, reaching for those toes, flat back. Now we may be even getting a little bit deeper now. Now we're warming up, right? And remember, wherever you are is exactly where your body needs to be right now. Some days you're going to get a lot deeper into the stretch than others. That is perfectly okay. Before we take it back to standing, we're going to do a little bit more seated work. This class is flying by, guys. So roll on back on up. Take the legs nice and wide to a wide leg straddle. We've been focusing a lot on the glutes. Let's stretch those inner thigh muscles and some more hamstring work here. So we're going to take our hands and we're going to walk our hands center. Don't worry if they're in the sand. We're going to get sandy anyway. Walk those hands out as far as feels comfortable. Again, we want to maintain a nice flat back. We're not curving down and crunching those organs and crunching our lungs. Keep the chest open and lifted so that we have a nice room to breathe. Big room for big inhales. Remembering to breathe through our stomach, so as we exhale, pushing our stomach out, fully exhaling, releasing any tension. Big inhale, breathing in the beach, the salt air, the sea, the sun, and the light. Exhale anything negative, anything dark. From here, we're going to walk the hands over to the right foot, placing one hand on either side of the leg. Maintaining that flat back, we fold a little bit down. As we exhale, maybe we can sink a little bit deeper. You may be feeling a stretch in your hamstring. You may be feeling a stretch through your side, your obliques, and your back. Try to keep that chest lifted. Sounds like I'm telling you 2 different things, right? Fold and lift. I do want you to do both. Fold down, but keep the chest lifted. From here, we're going to come up just a little bit, and then we're going to walk the hands all the way over to the left side. Placing one hand on either side of the leg. Here we go with that fold and lift. Fold down, keeping the back flat and the chest lifted. As you exhale, maybe you can go a little bit deeper. Remembering to release the muscles in both your legs and your back. Those muscles will try to fight the stretch. And then slightly lift just a little bit and walk those hands back to center. Holding in center, lower back down. Again, keep that back flat. Maybe you can get a little bit lower down towards the sand this time. You can have fingertips in the sand. You can have forearms in the sand. Or if you're really feeling warmed up and flexible, you can take the forehead down to the sand. for just a few moments longer. These stretches, if these muscles are tight for you, it's a very common tightness that people have. The best thing you can do is get into these stretches and hold them for a minimum of 90 seconds, aiming for 3 minutes. Because what that's going to do is that's going to permanently stretch these muscles. We can do this stretch every day for 30 seconds here or there, and we will feel an immediate release, and we'll feel a little bit stretched, but that stretch is going to go away after time. If you want a permanent stretch, if you want to be able to deepen your straddle, aim for 3 minutes. So maybe while you're watching TV, slowly take the hands and roll yourself back on up, taking your time to get here. And then taking the legs back to center. Ooh. Might be a little bit hard to do that after that nice deep stretch, and that's okay. Our hands can help move our legs. Wiggle those legs out. Roll those shoulders in and out. Whew. All right, are we ready to take it back up to standing? Everyone feeling okay? Good, good, good. So we're gonna come to kneeling first. Take your time to get there after all those deep stretches. We want to go ahead and bring the hands down into the sand. We come basically to a tabletop where we were before, and we're going to activate those toes, and we are going to push the hips back up towards the sky, taking it to down dog. But slowly, slowly, slowly. We just did some deep stretching. We want to be gentle with those muscles, not jarring. So pushing the hands into the sand. Remember to find a nice firm ground. Pushing the hips up, and you can either bend slightly through the knees if that feels good, or push the heels down. Inhale, lifting the right toes. And then exhale, stepping the right foot through the hands, holding it here. Grounding your feet here. We're getting a nice firm balance. I want you to think about lifting that left hamstring up towards the sky. So we're really engaging that left hamstring. You can leave your hands right here, or if you would like to go for a challenge, inhale and arms come all the way up for a nice high lunge. Now mind you, we just had the spine in an opposite direction in that wide leg forward fold for quite some time. So you may feel coming up, it's like, whoa, my body doesn't want to go there. And that's normal. That's normal. That's why we do these opposing stretches. Holding it right here is one option. Hands on the ground is another option. A third option, if you want to take it a little bit higher, is to bring the hands together at heart center and bring the elbow to the outside of the knee for a twist. Push the palms into each other, engaging the arms. Remember, lifting that back hamstring up towards the sky, using that back foot for balance and grounding and strength. Pull that core in towards your belly so that you're not using your back, you're using your core. You guys look amazing. Inhale back to center, arms come up. Exhale, arms come down all the way. Lifting that front foot coming all the way back to down dog. Inhale to high plank. Exhale, lower down chaturanga. All the way through for cobra. Breathe here. Soften through those elbows. Inhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Again, finding your position in down dog, taking a moment here. Pushing the heels towards the ground or bending through the knees. Our left toes rise. Exhale, step the left foot through the hands, planting it down into the sand, fingertips down on the ground. So instinctively when we get into a lunge, we actually usually drop the hips, which is okay, which is fine. But today I want you to think about lifting through that back hamstring. So it's not so much that we're lifting the hips, but think about engaging this back leg, pulling it up, pushing down with the toes. And you can stay right here, or you take the challenge to come on up into a full high lunge. You're pushing through that front leg, but when you lift through that back hamstring, you're gonna take a little bit of pressure off that front leg. Pull through the core, roll the shoulders down and back. Breathe into it here. It's not easy in the soft sand and the wind, guys. This is not easy. You're doing a great job. You can stay here You can bring fingers down to the sand, or you can bring hands to heart and go for the twist. Inhale, back center. Arms come up. Exhale, hands down. Ooh, that was some leg work. Let's take that left leg back, meeting the right in down dog. Great job. Our last down dog of today. Breathe into it here. Inhale, take it forward, high plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga, all the way through for cobra. Release the toes. Keep the elbows soft. Lift the head. Ooh. Oh, a lot of breath on that one, guys. Hold here, one more breath. Planting those fingers and palms into the sand, we're going to push the hips back, widen the knees. Take it to child's pose. Breathe here. Inhale, taking it back to all fours. From here, we're going to tuck the toes, activate the toes, and we're not taking it to down dog, rather we're going to walk the hands back, taking it to a forward fold. Letting your torso hang. Letting gravity do this stretch for you. Think about feeling it all the way through the back of your legs, but releasing the shoulders, releasing the head, and feeling it through the neck as well. Grabbing opposite elbows, let's hang in a ragdoll style. And then slowly start to roll it on up. One vertebrae at a time. Head and neck coming up last. Coming to standing. Stepping into the middle of your mat or towel. Ooh, how we feeling? Everyone good after coming from upside down? All right, we're gonna inhale the arms up, but before we do that, I want you to dig around a little bit so you have a steady flat surface underneath you, because we're gonna do a little bit of balance as we round through the end of our class. Inhale, the arms come up. As we exhale, we're gonna lift the right knee and the hands come to the knee. So we're gonna pull that knee in, pushing down through the ground through the left foot. Focus on using all four corners of the left foot. Remember, if we wobble, it just means we're getting extra core work, right? I said we'd use our core. So if you want to stay here, perfectly fine. Go ahead and flex that right foot. If you want to take a challenge, especially as that breeze blows at us, take the left hand to the outside of the right knee and open up the arm. Oh my goodness. Woo! You feel that left leg working now. I gotta end with a challenge, guys, right? And then slowly bring that right arm back, still hugging that knee, and slowly release that leg all the way down. Woo! You should have felt a little bit of work in that right hip maybe, and then a lot of work in that left leg. Also a lot of work in that core when that big breeze comes. Inhale, arms all the way out. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise to a nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms all the way up. Now you know why I said to dig into a nice firm ground, right? We're gonna exhale, the hands come down, we lift the left knee. Now one side may be easier for you than the other. Perfectly normal. Dig the right foot into the sand, all four corners. So wrap the toes in, push the heel in, grabbing that sand with your foot. Flex the left toes. Hang out here. Or, why does the wind come in this way every time? Or take the right hand to the outside of the left knee and reach the left arm back. Holy challenge. You guys got this. Give it a whirl. Those of you doing this video at home, you don't have the wind fighting you. Remember that when you're in your basement watching the video. Bring that hand, back to center. Slowly, right? And then slowly release that foot down. Inhale, nice job, guys. Arms come all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Flat back here. Exhale, forward fold. From here, taking the hands down to the sand, we're going to put the pressure, put the weight into the balls of our feet. So lifting the heels. Ooh, big stretch through the calves there. And then slowly bend at the knees. And we come all the way down to this nice little toe stand. Hang here for just a moment. Releasing those hamstrings that we just stretched. And allow yourself to come all the way down to a seated position. Very gracefully, like I just did. Roll on back. Stretch the legs out long in front. And we are going to inhale the arms, come all the way up. Exhale, forward fold, flat back. How deep can we go now? Do you feel a difference from where you were in the beginning of class? If you don't worry about it. That means your muscles aren't ready to go there. It's something that we can keep working towards. If you do feel a little bit of a difference, then just appreciate what your muscles have done for you in this short amount of time. Look how far you've gone. You should be proud of yourselves, be proud of your body for the changes it's making in this practice. Slowly start to roll up through the spine, and instead of stopping at seating, we take it all the way down. So we come back to laying down on the sand. Release the head and neck into the sand. Separate the legs, let the legs fall out to the side, and drop the arms down by your sides, palms facing up. You have made it to final Shavasana. Relax here. Feel your body melt into the sand, sink into the sand. Feel the warmth of the sun. Slow your breath. Clear your mind. Appreciate your body. Appreciate the beach and the beautiful scenery we have as you relax for the rest of class. Some essential oils that I'll be coming around to spray. If you prefer none, please place one hand on your heart and I will know to skip over you. start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Coming back to present body, present mind. Maybe keeping your eyes closed for the last few breaths as you waken back. And when you feel ready, roll on over to your right side. Right side bringing us energy. And take a few breaths here. And then from here, once you feel ready, meet me in a comfortably seated position. Open up your eyes if you haven't already. And inhale, the arms come all the way up. Hands come together. Exhale, hands come to heart. Touch those thumbs right to your chest. Mind-body connection, hand-heart, physical connection. And roll out your shoulders one last time. Big inhale. Big exhale. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. I hope you take with you through the rest of your day to be kind and loving and caring and nourishing to yourself as you have already started your day with that practice. Namaste. Have a great weekend, guys. Happy Halloween. Have a great Halloween.